Chess, chess. We got chess coming. Hmm. 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 Awesome. Looks like everything's working. So, I'm doing this tournament today because basically I tried to do one 2 days ago and we pretty much had some new problems. I had actually set up my stream so that these windows here were placed correctly if the window was maximized, but I had my window not maximized, and this whole first rank was not there on the screen. So basically, I can't really show that video, so I'm doing a new one. Performed kind of suboptimally too, hoping to improve on that as well. We've got a tournament starting out in what time is it? 7 minutes now. So perhaps we can get actually a warm-up game going on before that. And this time I'm actually going to try to be monitoring these chats here. So feel free to say something if you feel like it or not. And I've got both Twitch and YouTube chats up and monitoring, so hopefully we'll be able to see as things go on what's going on. We'll see if this affects my... It was looking like it was taking a while for Twitch to stream correctly, so I don't know if my computer's getting slow because of this sort of dual setup, but we'll just play a game and see what happens. So 3+0 is the tournament time control, so that's how I'll warm up. We're playing Pechi, 1699. I wasn't having much luck with the queen's pawn, but I'm going to try it again. Anyways, this is a weird move. Hoping to disrupt my center. I guess I can just... I don't want to play e3 and thus block in my light-squared bishop. But if I push past... Actually, I'll push past. If he takes, I can take and then play e4. And that's totally fine. But no, blocks in the light-squared bishop, but not for long once he takes. I guess I'll go with my original plan. Play e4 anyways. This makes sense. Let's pin that knight. He's attacking e4 with the knight. It's a weak spot in my position. I'll protect it with the bishop. Sort of a questionable strategy. I see. I guess I have to take this way, huh? I'm not going to calculate it all, but wow. That's a good strategy, but what if I do this? Now things get interesting. I guess I'll take back and force a recapture with the pawn. So I'm down a pawn, but the structure of the king side's all messed up. So they're hoping to capitalize on the extra pawn they've got. We'll see if that's possible or not. I'm going to try to develop see if they continue the strategy of simplification. No. Content to castle. I'm just going to develop my last piece. I guess I only have a minute. I have to be careful about the time. Lining up with my queen. Not to mention my bishop. is under attack still. Let's protect this pawn so that I can move my bishop if they take it. Or if they don't take it, I should say. There's still a few, yeah, they're trying to open up this attack. I suppose I have to move and accept, yeah, a trade. Now the bishop's in a defensive position, but I can get my knight into this nice outpost here where it cannot be deflected by a pawn, opening up the bishop, especially on my rook. Let's go. I don't want to trade rooks. I've done enough trading. All my pieces are on light squares right now, which is kind of nice. We're going to go here and threaten knight. Yeah, I forced that move. I want to get my rooks into the game. But I have to do it quick. At this point I want to take the e-file if possible. Sensible play by the opponent. Not sure what strategies I really have left. I think I just have to move. If I can get my knight somewhere more useful, I guess I just have to trade everything. Move my queen in. I'm attacking this pawn, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pre-move a bunch of stuff. Move my pawns on light squares. Yeah, that's the game. Just lost on time, but my opponent played quite good. Alright, so it's 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and join that tourney. Although I lost that game, I felt definitely more awake and active than I played 2 days ago, so I'm happy about that. Got to remember to monitor these things just in case. But yeah, here we go. Hourly SuperBlitz arena. Starting in a minute and a half. Let's join that. So I got some chess books yesterday. 2 of them. This one right here. I can't see myself. Right there, Amateur to IM. I started reading it, as you see by the bookmark. And this other one, 100 Endgames You Must Know. Both of these focus on the endgame. I think that's a good place to start studying. So I've never read a chess book or studied formally before. Just watched videos online is all, and played my own game. So it should be fun. I've got the real physical board out in my other room, and I'm going through all the positions. So we'll see how we do in this one. I've only read like the first chapter so far. Basically they're talking about how you need to basically be able to know certain patterns which can be either win or draw, and then
10,
you can use
9,
knowledge
8,
of these patterns
7,
to basically
6,
try to
5,
calculate into these
4,
patterns.
3,
And that
2,
is sort of like
1,
focused calculation
0.
rather than random calculation. And basically that's how you do meaningful calculation, is try to get to these, make these plans based on your known patterns sometimes, and calculate to try to get to those plans. So, okay, we get a king's pawn. We're going to start out with Scandinavian. And they play this advanced variation. The key for me for this is to get the bishop out before you close up the pawn chain. It's kind of an unintuitive move if you've never seen it before. They're really striking out all over the place. So I'm just gonna, yeah. I think even here, it's probably a good idea to get my bishop out before they close it down. Here, I'm going to move my knight here. I'm scared if I move it to c6 that this pawn on the b file is going to advance and kick it back again. So I'm just going to accept a cluttered position in the hopes that these pawns are overextended. Here I think I'm going to take this knight and force a doubled pawn situation. But I'll let them take the bishop if they want. For now, yeah, let's push forward. If they take the bishop, I'll take with my knight. And although they have the bishop pair, and I have no bishops, the position is so close that I hope that it won't be too much of an advantage compared to how it usually is. Really playing with these pawns. I guess I can happily move back. Yeah, I need to make sure I don't lose this on time or anything. So what's the plan? I think the plan here is a6, b5, or even after that move, a move like queen a5 to attack this weak pawn. Now that the bishop's moved, and we'll have to move again to protect it. That's fine. I think it's time to take. If they take with the pawn, I get to take the queen. They take with the bishop. Not sure why. Now I could this move. And now I'm attacking the pawn twice. So f4. Are they really gonna? Yeah, they're gonna do it. That's pretty funny. Might be good though. Hard to say. Gotta make sure my knights both have escape routes. If these pawns go up even farther. Like so. I've got half a mind to just let them. Oh, I could take, yeah? Any reason why I can't do this? Not that I see. It's semi-dangerous, but I'm also attacking the c-pawn 3 times. And I like that. Okay, so now I take again. And I see why it's scary. Because my king's all out in the open. Is there any problem with taking with the queen here? I don't think so. I threatened the rook anyways. Yeah, there's that. This one though. This forces a bishop trade. And now what? That makes a lot of sense. So let's put him in check. This keeps me from castling, but at least I can try to trade these. Oof, I dropped this pawn. My king's out in the center, so that's not very good. But if they don't move the queen, I could force a queen trade. I guess I'm up a pawn right now, because I can play queen h1, but I gotta be quick. That's a good move. And I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna run away. Run. I wish I knew what to do. It's probably a good move, given the time situation. Ah! Yeah, it's too bad. A strong game, though. I think in a longer game, their play was questionable with all those pawn moves, and I would have been totally fine converting that, but kind of ran out of time. Which is pretty standard for me. Alright. We're going to get a real Scandi this time. I'm going to play it a little bit faster. Wow, what are these moves? And that's a little too fast by my opponent. Let's try to get a quick win here. I can play all the standard Scandi moves with the only difference from normal that I'm up a queen for a bishop. So they weakened this d5 square, so easy for me to take this. Here, let's just come in with the knight again. Oh. Whoops. This is annoying. I guess I should occupy the square with the last remaining knight. So now it's 2 minor pieces for the queen. I'd like to get rid of some of these minors. Seems like a random rook move. Don't see any threat. That's a threat, pretty much. Let's just move in with the rook. Hope to get an attack going. If I can force that knight out of the protection of the rook, then I can win the rook. So maybe it's worth trying to do that with a move like this. Or just take this pawn. That's much better, huh? I had hoped so. I'm not totally sure. Somehow my mind feels fuzzy again. So let's return back. You know what I should do? I should pin this knight to the rook. Or play a move like this, go for a freebie, cheapo. Which may or may not work. Back here. How about here? few potential attacks coming with that move on the bishop and the knight. I should take this pawn on the b file too, but I get a chance. It also attacks the rook. And now I'm attacking the bishop. So, yeah, they saw it. Let's just go back. How about here? Why not? I feel like I must be threatening some sort of thing. They're playing defensive. Let's get my other rook in the game. Now I'm threatening h3. Sheesh, Louise. Check. This is probably bad. Check. Pick up. Don't pick up. Check. This is good now. Now I threaten mate. So they protect. Here. What a crazy game. Up, the rook was hanging. So let's take that knight. Checkmate still threatened. I should have just taken the pawn, huh? This is enough, though. Yep. Whew. That's fun. Alright, gotta get back and check out the streams. Everything looks good. I think he's saying hello from Colombia. This guy I played before. But he's saying it in some other language, so whatever they speak in Colombia. Don't know what that is. Another guy who looks pretty decent. Let's do English right out of the bat. Yeah, it says I've played this guy twice. He's beat me both times, so he's playing a kingside attack with f5. Going for the Fanchetto. I'm going to counter him with my own. Move the rook out of the dark squared fire. So it's a double Fanchetto setup for me. Let's get all my pieces developed so I can castle. It's a very closed position. Let's go ahead and win that light squared bishop. And now how to proceed. I probably want to go on the d file and make a break on the d file, just to guess. But I should be worried about f4. So let's worry about f4 first. Not sure where that knight's going. Let's continue with our plan. Okay, everything's all closed up. Now I've got an idea. I'm going to try to win their dark squared bishop. They're really pushing for the squeeze with these pawns. I don't want to take that pawn and ruin my king's pawn structure. Let's go ahead and take that. It's a weird game again. Pre-move is capture with the pawn. What is that all about? I mean, yeah, that's a strong knight there. But it's a piece. Is it really a piece worth of compensation? Please show me. And I can still take out these dark squared bishops. Okay. Going for the tricky move with the pawn push. Not going to fall for that. Okay, I see your point. But I can go here. Oh. Man. Yeah, this has got to be losing now. Pawn takes. Maybe I should. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good player. Pretty easy, I think. F takes. That's an unnecessary move. As far as I can tell. Let's go here. Oh. Nice. Wow. I don't even know what just happened. But that was cool. It'd be good to look back at that game. So last time I streamed a tournament, someone was talking about doing post-game analysis, and I sort of said that I wasn't doing it because I was in a tournament and the games come so fast after another. But actually, I think once the tournament's over, I'll probably go back at some of the interesting games if I can. And do a little bit of at least the critical positions of some of these games. I think usually you want to play c5 in the Grunfeld. So I'm just going to play it. In fact, that's a pawn, isn't it? Yep. And another one? No weird discoveries here, are there? far as I can tell, no checks. Okay, your point. So now the bishop's gone too. Ah, that's tricky. They're hoping that I was going to take the bishop, take with the queen, take with the rook, and then they get rook c8 checkmate because of this bishop here. And I'm just going to go ahead and... Should I trade? No, I get the same weird threats as before, so I'm not going to trade. I'm just going to try to hopefully develop. Yeah, I'll pull the same trick he pulled on me. Wait, but aren't we like even now? I thought I was up a piece or something. Did I miscalculate? I probably miscalculated. Or maybe it was just a pawn I was up. Which is... I'm still up it, but it's gonna fall pretty easily, I think. That's an annoying spot for their dark squared bishop. I'm probably going to have to move this f-pawn up the board at some point, sooner or later, to avoid all these checkmate threats, which prevent my rooks from getting too active. Right now they're looking for some sort of plan to make my life annoying, which is what they were doing. They're going for all these tricksy moves. People like to do that in these short games. But there's apparently no more tricksy moves to be had. Maybe a g5 is... bishop g5 is annoying. No, it's okay. I wouldn't be worried about that move. Because pawn f6 kicks the bishop out. I was thinking pawn f6, then pawn e5. The other player may have left the game. Let's claim victory. Sorry, bro. Alright. So good tournament so far. I'm in 4th place. Not going to let that get to me, though. I think relatively lucky there to not have to play that one out. I could easily lost it. Let's play French. See what they're going to do. This one. I saw this in a chessable repertoire, actually. This kind of weird maneuver, bishop d7 to d6, which right now seems to force a dark squared bishop trade, if I'm looking at it correctly. Yeah, dark squared bishop trade, now we attack the knight. So it looks like a mini victory for us. Now we even force the light squared bishop to stay where it is. So I'm thinking some move like knight d7, perhaps knight. Let's just stay flexible with the side that we castle. Here, not think too much. Oh yeah, this square. It's always annoying. And this is like almost a Scandi position for them to get this move in. I think I'm just gonna develop some more. And if they take, I'll take with the knight. But they're happy to just continue forward, which kind of makes me want to castle queenside. Yeah, we're castling queenside. Yeah, but what about this? That's annoying, isn't it? Aren't you annoyed with that move? I'll take it. I'll take this guy. And let's just protect the king. Let's try to get in. I'll just be annoying. Let's try to play an end game. Is this pawn just falling though? Maybe so. But this pawn's falling too. So now where's a good spot for the... I feel like this knight should be a defensive piece at this point. Because if I moved it to c6, they could push the pawn. Or maybe they couldn't. I'm not sure. That move seems to give me the e-file, which I will take. Tricky, but I'm gonna risk this working. I might just lose right now. But if I don't lose, then I'm up a pawn. They believe that I'm okay, which is a good sign. I'm gonna move this knight. Oops, there goes the pawn. Darn. It's playing so good too. Defend. Don't want to lose any more pawns after that. Oh, this is a complicated position, preventing back rank issues. I don't have any time. I'm gonna have to simplify and hope for the best. Yeah. Pretty much lost this one. Let's use up. Oh, there goes my knight. Whew. I'm happy with that game too, though. I played him close until I blundered that pawn. I mean, with those queen endings, it was always going to be really hard to play with a small amount of time, so I probably had to be a little more wary of my time if I was going to want to win that. It's hard to do. I'm a very slow player generally too, so that's not helping anything. But still playing well today. As you can hear from my voice, I'm less sleepy, and that appears to be paying off in my game. I have to make sure I don't play these tourneys after a workout, especially when I'm in such bad shape. It makes a big difference. Play Queen's Gambit. Let's see what they go for. This weird line. I don't think I've seen this, but it looks pretty strange. Ah, that's what they're going for. They're going for this square. As for now, everything's held together by a thread. And hopefully a3 will kick the knight back, and then I should have a pawn advantage at that point. We're going to play this move. Yeah, we're going to play this move. And after that, we're going to play this move. Now the knight has to go back. And we can shut them down like so. Or we can go here. Let's do this. God, this is such a weird position. So where's the knight going? Is that a trap? The knight has to go back to b8 now, because if it goes to a5, oh yeah, you can just protect it like that. But now I can go here. These people playing tricky chess, I swear. Take the pawn. Any problems? Don't see any. Kicking the bishop. Let's go here. If I was them, I would take this knight right now. Now I get a strong center though. And I also threaten this knight. So they gotta move the knight, which means I win this pawn. Unless they protect the knight. Let's just go all in. Threatening bishop h3, which I'll play anyways. That'll get him to play f5, which will weaken the dark squares. And I kind of like my king in the center here for some reason. Maybe I'll just move this bishop back, move both my bishops back. I'll take it, because once I take it, I get this. And they're going to have to close things up yet again. Or protect it again, I suppose. But now I get this pawn. I'm just pawn hungry today. Rook to b file, rook to b7 ideally. That drops a piece. So I just have to make sure I don't lose on time at this point. Let's push this pawn. He can win the pawn back. But I really want to break up his strong center pawns. Now I get to solidify these two connected passed pawns. This has got to be good. Castling next move if possible to connect the rooks. Let's move here. Force a trade of rooks. Yeah, and checkmate. Not checkmate. But I win the other rook. Let's get our other rook in the game. Take my... I don't care. I've got checkmate in a few moves. Nice. What a tricky game. Let's see if this Lichess or this Twitch video is working. It is working. I think. Yeah, but it's going to make me watch an advertisement. That's annoying. I don't want to do that. We're just going to pause it. Okay. Spanned chess. Don't know what that means. Stream looks fine. Hopefully it should sound fine. This is some kind of Nimzo. I'm going to accept the double pawns if that's what they want. Oh. Can I take that? Clever, clever. I don't know why I moved my rook there. I should have just played e3. I'm going to play it next anyways. Now what to do? The bishop does a good job controlling b1. b3 to try to keep that knight at bay. It's a very static position. I don't see anything happening really. Going for a pawn push probably. My pieces are well placed for that though. Let's try to get this bishop more active. Oh, and drop a pawn in the process. Hopefully that pawn doesn't end up being super important. probably will, though. The light squared bishop's just too strong. This is interesting. It's probably bad, though. Bet you there's a refutation like that or something. So let's take it. At least I can be satisfied that their pawn structure is damaged. So although they're up a pawn, it's a doubled pawn. Still, it's hard to say what is a good plan for me in a position like this. So that knight's headed for that square. That much was clear from the get-go. So I suppose I have to try to protect that square with the knight. Maybe I can somehow make use of this h-file. Not sure what else to do. At this point, I really don't know how to handle this position. So I'm just going to make a bunch of random moves. That's a good idea by them. Now I just have to hope this pawn is weak enough to get. That lose, no, I can't do that. It's pretty difficult. I'm hoping to force f3. I'll take the pawn. I don't have much other tries. Eek. Oops. Let's just resign. Make it easier for them. Closely fought game again. Lost on time. These things are going to happen in the 3-minute, especially when I'm playing higher rated players. But yeah, definitely some good games so far in this tournament. Let's see if we can get another win or two in at the end. Usually when you do good at the beginning, it's really hard to get wins at the end because you end up playing the other people who are doing well and they're all actually consistently get this far in tournaments. Playing the exchange French with the c4. Let's take it. It's a really bad move because the bishop could take it. And that's probably a bad move too. But they didn't. I was scared of g5 a little bit, I have to admit. making lots of not worried about tempi. Go ahead and castle. Didn't want to get, if I took, there were going to be some discoveries on my king, which is not something desirable, obviously. Let's just pretend this guy is not going to be able to do anything with his gained tempi. Maybe this is a good diagonal for the light squared bishop. Looks like they're going to hope that this isolated pawn becomes a strength in the position. And for a good cause, I don't see how I'm going to stop it from becoming a beast. This is a weird looking move, but I'm hoping to get my queen to a7, challenge their queen, because my queen's doing nothing on d8. I didn't see another way to activate it. So let's continue with the plan. If they take it though, my rook is on a7 and it'll take another tempo to move it back to the 8th rank. But they don't. So I consider that a small success. The question is what to do now. I'm going to centralize the queen a little bit. Really? I guess you could do that. If I take it, they're going to take with the pawn, and the light squared bishop gets my pawns pinned to my king, so there's probably some good stuff to do there. Yeah, so let's just try to get all the rooks off the board. And now what? With the rooks off the board, it should be easier to attack this pawn, so hopefully I can attack it. But all of the pieces are really going. Why though? Okay, I'm not going to think too much. Yeah, this looks nice, I think. That's a good spot for the queen. I suppose what I want to do now is get this light squared bishop off of this really painful diagonal. So here they're just accepting. Giving up the pawn? But why? Take this. I don't understand those last few moves. I just have to not lose on time. Is this a draw? I'll take a draw. Sweet. That was a clever way to get a draw, but hey, draw it against a 2071. It's a good result, for sure. So, probably get one more game in here before the tournament ends. Playing a blitzer. I wonder if they're hoping to get in more games or if they just want the extra points. Or if they think they can beat me that bad. Which is possible. King's Indian defense. Just gonna play all this standard conservative moves here. And what's the point with this? I feel like this should be good. I get a discovered... Okay. This is what happens when they pre-move. Here I'll open up the center. They can take the knight and double my pawns, but I'm just going to say it's not too big of a deal, seeing as I'm up a piece. I guess I've got to be careful with this b2 pawn. It's still a little tricky, in fact. They can win a pawn here, but I'm just trying to simplify the position. I guess they just... yeah, that one too. How about here? They win the exchange back. But I have the bishop pair. I'm probably down a few pawns too. Yeah, that makes sense. Kick the knight out. My pawn structure is weak too. If I had to guess, this should be a pretty easy win for black. Let's move here. We'll threaten this pawn and also, which is protecting the knight. Oh, am I down? Oh, we have some weird unbalanced material. That's what's going on here. So hopefully I can use the bishop pair to my advantage. Let's be greedy. Take this pawn. And attack the knight. I guess they can get rid of the bishop pair with d7. And a move like that will just play for restraining the knight. They'll take, I'll take, and I've still got the bishop pair. Hopefully they play b3, because that allows me how to activate the bishop pair. Like this. I guess, I'm not sure that was a good idea, because now I have to promote a pawn if I want to win, which is annoying. I have to promote a pawn or win on time, which I am winning on time, so I have a feeling I should just play fast. Yeah, like that. Just keep playing fast. We'll give up the bishop in hopes... Oh, there goes my bishop. I'm just going to try to win this one on time. probably a bad move. Ah, checkmate. Yeah. Whew. Close one. So that's the tournament. Yeah. You're probably talking about pushing the king up and doing the king and rook checkmate there. But yeah, it's just a time scramble. I guess we can play that game back. So the tournament's over. 19 out of 101. Definitely not bad for my ranking. Played some good games. Had a nice draw there against a high-ranked player. So let's go back to some of these games. And analyze some of the interesting positions. Computer's looking a little slow, probably because of all the streaming that's going on. So if we go backwards to the point where I traded rooks, where was that? It's probably a better way to do this. This is, in hindsight, perhaps a bad idea to do this rook trade, because now all I've got are 2 bishops and some pawns, and the only way I have a chance to checkmate is to promote one of the pawns, and it's 5-4, so I feel like unless I can trap the rook with my bishops, it's probably going to be hard to win this. Let's see what the computer says. That I should do. Oh, of course, I can just take with the bishop. If I take with the bishop, I keep the rook on the board. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. This would have been a much more complicated thing, especially if, yeah, if they did do this move attacking. I was thinking even a move like this might be tricky. I guess maybe not, they can move the other pawn, but it's hard to get this bishop out of here. My rook might come to the 8th rank. Yeah. Man. And so at this point, I wonder if there's a way. This pawn is gonna promote unless I can get rid of it. I wonder if there's a way to get rid of it without sacrificing a bishop. Or if I'm just lost. Computer says don't worry about it. Activate the king. I guess I understand, because the way my bishops are positioned, he can't protect the pawn and he can't advance the pawn. So maybe I don't even have to worry so much about trying to get it right now. Okay, that's fair. I should have written down the games I played in some of those interesting positions. But the computer slow. Let's see if I can remember any of these. I think this is the one. This game was kind of nuts. The one that I decided to go for the English, we had these double fanshadowed bishops opposing each other, and then my other fanshadowed bishop. And so they're using all the pawns to try to block out the power of the bishops, which makes some sense. Here I was thinking, let's go to the analysis board. I've got a MacBook Pro, but I think it's slow because I'm streaming to like restream and then getting it to YouTube and also Twitch. So it's a lot of, even though it's chess and it's not like graphic heavy, maybe that has something to do with it. It's like I think a 2012 MacBook Pro or something. Normally it's totally fine. But anyways, I was wondering at this position, something like f4. Because if I take it, then my king side pawns are all kind of ruined. Peter says just develop. If he takes, I can just take with the h pawn. The structure's fine. And apparently I'm looking better. Maybe the h-file is useful for the rook. I was thinking maybe they're going to throw their h and g pawns at me and it might get messy, but I guess I haven't castled and maybe I can go queenside even. So maybe that plan is more of a problem if I castle first. But anyways, we keep going. Yeah, it's definitely stress. I get the light squared bishop, which I did not hesitate to take, even though maybe it wasn't such a powerful piece in this position. Still, it seemed reasonable, especially in a short time control game. So here, I didn't know what to do, so I just developed the queen. They pushed the h-pawn on me. I played e3 to prevent that f4 move break that I was alluding to earlier. A bunch of stuff happened. Now they throw the h-pawn down, and I just ignore it. See, my plan with this move was to, well, I needed to make some breaks because with the position closed, nothing was really going to be happening. But once they closed this up, I had this really weird idea of trying to double up my queen and my bishop so that I can push d5, attack the queen, and also double attack the bishop. I guess it wasn't really necessary because they could have just played queen f7, protected it in hindsight, but I thought I'd never seen. It's really slow anyways. And they close it off anyways. But this was a nice sacrifice here. I didn't see it coming. I guess the point is, what is the point? The point is that with the pawn gone, he's able to take on g3, and I'll have to take with the h-pawn, and then my h-pawn and my f-pawn are both gone. That's the main point of the sacrifice. The other point being they've also got the f4 push to undermine my e3 pawn, which is keep holding together the d4 pawn, or they even take with the other knight, and so it is gone. So are they really supposed to take? Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not a huge expert on streaming and what causes a computer to be fast enough or not. I would say just try it out and see if it works. I imagine if you're doing chess too, that hopefully it's not such a huge deal. But I'm not the guy to ask about that. So yeah, I was definitely dead here. But up till this point, I'm okay. So that was a great move. But I thought if I moved here, the point was, don't they have this move? Oh, my knight's protecting it. Yeah, I thought that would have been clever, so I did. Basically, the only king move that would get me out of that discovery, even though I would have been able to take the queen. Yeah, so they just messed it up. I got super lucky in this game. But it's pretty awesome tactics. They had all these pawns going, but always lingering in the background was this dark squared bishop, and the queen was able to make an appearance because they had pushed their pawns so much into the 6th rank. Cool. Hope your streaming goes well, and let me know if you find out any information. So, yep, I'd say that's a wrap. Good tournament, and see you guys next time.